Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're wondering what the best fragrances in the world right now are, then stay tuned, because I asked my subscribers if they only picked one fragrance, their absolute favourite fragrance, the best fragrance to them personally, what would they pick? Only picking one. So this is a list created by every one of you of your absolute favourite fragrances in the world, so enjoy. The first one on the list mentioned was Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme Ultime. Now this one is like the original DNA of L'Homme, which is hugely popular but with an extra added dose of cedarwood. So yeah, first one is a designer fragrance, one of the best fragrances in the world. And next up on the list, Xerjoff's Lyra. This is a vanilla caramel fragrance with a citrus opening. It's one of my favourites as well, I really like that one. So again, another one of the best fragrances in the world, according to you guys, Xerjoff's Lyra. Next on the list was Nascimato's Pardon. Again, one that I own myself, and a great fragrance, oody, chocolatey, woody, spicy, really well blended, good stuff. One of the best fragrances in the world. And next up on the list was chosen Tom Ford's Plume Japonais as their favourite fragrance in the world. Next on the list was Terre de Hermès Parfum. This one is a bitter orange vetiver combo. Guerlain's Shalimar was chosen as well, which is old school vintage, powdery, vanilla-y, beautiful fragrance and a classic. The next fragrance that was chosen was Dior's Ambre Nuit, which is one that doesn't really get a whole lot of attention these days, but is part of the private collection. Next down the list was Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme, but the old edition. They specifically referenced that pre-reformulation. Again, it's one I used to own and I enjoy that fragrance. It just doesn't last very long anymore. Spicy, cardamom, lavender, everyone knows how it smells. Good stuff, and rated as their favourite fragrance ever in the world. The next fragrance chosen by you guys was Atelier Cologne's Orange Sanguine, which is a real orange juice scented fragrance, very, very pure in the orange domain. If you like oranges, definitely check it out. Rated as their favourite perfume ever. Next on the list that was voted was Baccarat Rouge 540 by Francis Kurkdjian. The extrait version is more expensive and a little bit deeper and richer, but pretty much quite similar, and rated as their favourite fragrance ever. Next on the voting was Green Irish Tweed. Everyone knows how it smells, and I used to own a bottle of it personally a long time ago. It didn't really last long on my skin personally, so I sold it, but I can appreciate it, and I'm not hugely a fan of green fragrances, but it's a classic, a lot of people love it, and it's voted by you guys as one of the best in the world. Next on the list, also mentioned, was Tom Ford's Oud Wood. To me it smells like a hamster cage, but a lot of people love it, and it's voted as people's favourite fragrance ever by you guys. Next on the list was Xerjoff's Uden, voted as the best fragrance ever, and this one is a boozy vanilla with citrus fruity notes. Back into the designers with Dior Homme Parfum, and they reference specifically the 2014 batch. I'm not hugely familiar with the different batch variations of Dior Homme Parfum, but yeah, iris and leather basically. Next on the list was voted Chanel's Egoist. This one is another classic that I'm sure a lot of people love. And another person voted also for Dior Homme, but they went with Dior Homme EDT. Voted next by you guys was Chanel Antaeus, another classic fragrance built around oak moss and leather. Swinging again into the niche category, we have Frederic Malle's The Night. This is a rosy oud combo, quite animalic. From my memory, the oud is quite pungent. Voted as the best fragrance in the universe. Next on the list is Comme des Garçons' Incense Avignon, which I have never smelled, and I'm probably pronouncing it wrongly. Voted also by you was Guerlain's Jicky. This is old school, vintage, classic. Moving back into the mainstream modern designers with Dolce & Gabbana's The One EDP. Following down the list, keeping with the designers, is Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I'm sure this is probably a lot of people's favourite fragrance. Classic combination of cinnamon, vanilla and tobacco. Going into the more obscure indie niche, we have Beaufort London, and they've gone for Code de Noir. Moving down the list with the niche is Parfums de Marly's Herod, a tobacco fragrance that a lot of people really enjoy. Moving back into the designers with one by Jean-Claude Ellena by Hermès, and it is called Un Jardin sur les Toits. From memory, I might be wrong, but this one is like a watery apple, but they've written, makes me feel in the Garden of Eden. Voted as the best fragrance in their collection. Moving down the list, going back into the niche, is Creed Silver Mountain Water, described as their favourite all year round scent, and I'm sure it is for a lot of people as well. Moving down the list, we have Dior's Pure Poison, where they reference it as smelling elegant and that they would love to wear it on their wedding day. Moving down the list, we have Guerlain's Shalimar Parfum Initial, and this has made notes of iris, vanilla and caramel. Back into the niche, we have Acqua di Parma's Rosa Noble, which is one of my favourites as well. Beautiful kind of rose peony fragrance, very, very pretty, and their favourite in their collection. Darren writes, Tuscan leather till the end. Tom Ford Tuscan leather, man after my own heart. Next down the list is Guerlain's Mitsuko, which I really like as well. It's a vintage unisex, a lot of oak moss in that one, really good stuff. Justin picks Chemi by Chemi. I don't know if that's a joke, or I'm presuming he's not seen my review of it, but if it's your favourite fragrance ever, then all power. Next on the list is from Cana Barcelona, and it's called El Bon. I have never tried that one. Next on the list, they have picked New York Intense by Nicolai. I have never smelled it. Another classic coming up, you guys have picked Frederick Marle's Portrait of a Lady, no surprise there. Next down the list, we're going back into niche with Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Oud Satin Mood. It's no surprise to me that that is someone's favourite in their collection because it's beautifully done. A mix of rose and kind of violety iris notes, kind of powdery slightly, quite sweet. There's a lot of vanilla in there, beautifully blended. Moving down the list, we have Acqua di Parma's Colonia Curcia. I am probably butchering that name, and I don't believe I've ever smelled it either. Next on the list, Creed Aventus. Predictable, I know, but I don't blame people, it's a good fragrance. Next on the list of favourite fragrances ever in the world, period, Viva la Juicy Rose. The next vote, we're going back to designer, is Narciso Rodriguez EDP. It's the one I own myself. It's really good, kind of a light musky, almost floral musk. Good stuff. Coming down the list, we're nearly at the end with Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Aqua Universalis Forte. Another MFK, we've got Maison Francis Kurkdjian Grand Soir, which is from memory, a nice kind of ambery vanilla fragrance. A lot of MFKs coming up in this list. Almost done, we've got 2 left, and the next one is Gucci Rush, with main notes of peach and patchouli. Christian Dior's Eau Sauvage Extreme, a fresh aromatic with rosemary and lavender with lemon and bergamot and oak moss. Were you surprised? It's interesting to see what people's favourite fragrances are, and that was a list of your choices, what you voted as your absolute favourite #1 fragrance in the universe, all chosen by you. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was fun. I've also got a worst fragrance in the world ever video as well, voted by you, so we'll see which ones are the stinkiest and which ones are the greatest in your opinion. I hope you found that fun. It's kind of fascinating to see, you know, what people love, what people hate. So next up will be the worst ones in the world. Take care everybody. Bye.